Art Laffer is a conservative icon. The free trading, free market loving economist was one of the architects of Reagan's tax cuts and is the godfather of trickle down economics. He was an economic advisor to Trump during the 2016 campaign. Famous for creating the eponymous Laffer curve, the theory that higher taxes bring lower government revenue, we wanted to know how he squared his free trading views with the current administration's unremitting protectionism.
We had a $375 billion trade deficit. That's not good.
The trade deficit is the most wonderful thing in the world. It's foreign capital coming in, which is used to employ Americans. A trade deficit is when one country imports net more goods than it exports. The silliest thing I can think of is trying to get rid of the trade deficit of the U.S.
Trade deficits aren't real.
Well, they're real.
But they don't matter.
Well, they don't matter to the public. Trade debt has nothing to do with the American taxpayers, American citizens whatsoever. It's the liability of the guy who borrowed the money. That's it. Under Reagan, when we cut the tax rates dramatically, our trade deficit went through the ceiling. From January 1st, 83 to June 30th, 1984, 18-month period there, U.S. only grew 12% in that period. Did you like that period?
You talked to the president. Why do you not explain this to him?
I do.
But why is he's out banging on about the trade deficit all the time?
People listen to a message. They make their own decision. He's the president, and I'm not.
But he's wrong about it.
I don't know that to be true. Trump tells me, personally, he's a free trader. I believe him. I see no reason to doubt that. Anyone who runs an international business the way he has to believe in free trade. You source yourself where you get the best quality products at the lowest cost. It's the way you do it. He's trying to get their attention, bang, so we really get true free trade. I believe. Now, does it scare me? Yes?
He scares you.
Oh, he scares me all the time.
Do you tell him, Mr. President, this rhetoric?
Yes.
I understand what you're doing, but it scares me.
Yes, of course I do. Why not? I'm terrified of a trade war. Protectionism is a killer, and it kills your industries that are protected, and it kills your economy. I know what happens when we have protectionism. I was in the Nixon White House from 70 to 72 when we put on 10% import tax surcharge, always just to the eye of making a trade surplus. You saw what happened. It was terrible. 1974, the market had dropped, 60%. You then look at the wonderful prosperity under people like Reagan, under people like Bill Clinton, that have been all freer trade. Bill Clinton was a great president. I voted for him twice. I don't know if you know that.
You voted for Clinton twice?
Yeah, I thought he was great.
NAFTA?
NAFTA was wonderful on. I mean, do I think NAFTA is well written? No. But is it better than it would have been? Yeah. But the basic thing is the gains from trade. People find foreign products better deals than they find American products for consumption. They find it's a better value buying French perfume than buying perfume from Guatemala or whatever it is. And they are gains for everyone. It's not I win, you lose. It's you win, I win. I win, win, win. You know, I go into a Walmart and I go into the gardening section there, and there are all these different shovels, the long, skinny ones, the fat ones, the shovel that maybe all $19.99. How does you make something like that for $19.99 and make a profit besides? I mean, without China, there is no Walmart. And without Walmart, there is no middle class or lower class prosperity in America. There just plain isn't. These gains from trade, they're huge. And I was the first American to go to China in 1970. You know, I was on the pre-Kissinger trip as a staffer for the White House. I mean, I went there. I knew I was going to hate those commie bastards. I fell in love with them. I mean, they're the most competitive people I've ever seen in my life. I love China. Do I think we should be at a trade war and treat China like an enemy? No. I think of China as America's best friend.
So the greatest example of supply-side economics working is communist China.
It has been amazing, hasn't it? You know, supply-side economics works no matter what form of government you got. It's just straight, flat economics, and no matter which party does it, it's going to work.
China's the Peter Navarro kind of enemy.
Why are we trading with a country when that trade is simply giving them the revenue to build up their war machine? We steadily lose ground to a country that does not have our best interests at heart.
Don't get me there.
What is that? You need your safe word here?
I know Peter. I like Peter. But his style and his message, I think, is wrong.
His message is that China's eating our lunch.
Yes, I know, and I don't understand it. When I think we're working together, they produce the bread and we produce the ham, and we're putting lunches together for both of us. Now, are there problems with intellectual property? Are there problems with their tariffs? You better believe it. Now, do I think Trump is trying to get those problems solved, which will make China better too? Yes, I do. And I think he's been one of the most successful presidents in the shortest periods of time I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing to me how successful he has been. I'm awestruck by it.
How is it that you are supporting the president right now?
Rhetoric is rhetoric.
I've heard this a lot, and I think that there's something to it. And people say, you know, Donald Trump has actually done what he said he was going to do.
We don't win anymore. But when I am president, we will start winning again. Big league.
You know, I don't understand all the strategies of politicians. I don't understand the way they think. But I feel very comfortable with Donald Trump's rhetoric and with what he has done so far.
This is the one thing he's been consistent on for 30 years.
I may be wrong in that. I may be misjudging him. He may want to go to war, and he may think he can win a trade war. I don't believe he does.
Your hope is that Donald Trump doesn't believe what he says.
I want to make sure you understand that to take Donald Trump literally is, I think, a huge mistake. Now, can you get me to agree a year from now after he causes the Great Depression? Yes, you can get me to be opposed to it. But right now, I just don't see that in him. Do you take my view of Trump on trade seriously in the sense?
I take it seriously. I don't know if I agree with it.
That's fair. I
wanna
don't know
get
if I agree with me either.